Okay. All right, so child's pose. You can make this a wide knee child's pose and bring the big toes touch. Taking those knees wider, maybe even as wide as the mat, will allow us to maybe sink the belly in between the thighs a little more, just get a little further into it. You may support the head with a block here, or maybe stack the hands, create a little pillow, or fists always work well for the forehead. And if possible, do support the head in some way, whether it's a block or, again, those hands or the floor. And from that rest of the head, that gentle pressure on the forehead, the third eye center, you can rock the head side to side and just massage that space. And then really think about reaching the sit bones down towards the heels. So lengthening along the lower back as we lengthen the spine forward. And then just settle in here. We'll just take about another 5 breaths or so here, coming into our space. As we're just joining, or we're continuing our yoga journey from the first half hour. So just breathe it out. Welcome, welcome if you're just coming in. I'm just starting in a child's pose. And I always like here to maybe wiggle the hips a bit side to side. Just kind of loosen up the lower back or around the hips a bit. And we'll take a couple more breaths. Perfect. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and start to come up. And we'll come out of our child's pose, make our way into tabletop position. So we're on hands and knees here. Bringing the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And then let's move the spine through cat and cow. We'll lift the heart, the sit bones, lengthen through the front body. And then as you exhale, round the back, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. And then just move at your own pace here with your breath. Inhale as you lift, heart forward. Exhale as you round. That angry cat, our Halloween cat. No more Halloween. We're done with Halloween. We're moving on. But we can still add that angry cat to our yoga. Couple more rounds here. And then after your next exhale, coming back to that neutral spine, so flat back. Go ahead right there, hug the belly in. And we're gonna circle our hips around. So take the hips over to the right, reach the hips back and around, and we'll circle a few times in this direction. So you can make these as big or small as you like. You could really reach back, or just kind of a half circle, smaller circle. Couple more. Here. And then let's come back to center and we'll switch it the other way. So come back to that neutral position and then let's take the hips over to the left and swing around and circle a few times in this direction. Perfect. One more round. And then come back to that neutral spine, flat back. Hug the belly in. Let's take the right arm forward and the left leg back. Hold here, but really extend through the arm and the leg. Now we can stay here or taking it into a little bit more of a balance and stretch. Bend the back knee, reach this hand, front hand around for the inside of the ankle, the foot, or maybe just the toes we're holding on to. And you could just stay there or start to lift the thigh, press the foot into the hand and open that shoulder. We may take the gaze over the right shoulder. Keep lifting the back thigh, pressing the foot into the hand. Hold for 3, wherever you are. 2, and a 1. Release the foot if you have it, and we'll release to the floor. Feel free to shake that out. Oh, in the car. I don't know where they are. All right, left arm forward, right leg back. When you're ready, hold there, belly in, nice and long in the arm, the leg. Feel free to stay there or taking it further. Bend the back knee, reach around for the inside of the foot, then lift that thigh, press the foot into the hand, maybe the gaze over the shoulder. Woo, definitely some balance there. But great opening for the shoulder, the quad, the hip flexor on the back. Hold for 3, 2, and a 1. Gorgeous. Release. Woo, almost fell out there. And tabletop position. Let's go ahead and walk the hands forward. Tuck the toes, come up and back. Down dog for a couple breaths. And we'll gaze forward in between the hands, walk the feet forward, come into ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet wide, knees bend, let the head go. And this can be a nice release for the lower back. Maybe even if you bend the knees a bit more. Let the head, shoulders go, maybe sway side to side, front to back. Shake out the head, yes, no. Perfect. Bend the knees a lot. We'll make our way up to standing. Let the head and neck be the last to come up. Nice and easy, nice and slow. And we'll roll the shoulders up and back a few times from our standing position. And then step the feet back or closer together. You could still have that bit apart, but we could also bring the big toes touch, slight opening in the heels, spread out the toes, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Just find your stance here. Find your breath, maybe close the eyes. And then we'll open the eyes. Find a focal point directly in front of your eyes. So it might be above or below the screen or to the right or the left. And then we're going to ground down into this left foot. Bring the right foot into the chest. Find your balance. Maybe circle the foot around here in one direction and the other. You might be able to hug that knee in and release the hands. Maybe take the hands to the hips and keep hugging that knee into the chest. That balance. Come back in if you fall out. So use your core to hug that knee in here without taking the shoulders back. We want to keep the shoulders over the hips. Inhale here. Exhale. We're going to take the right leg back, step it back behind us. A little wobbly today. We'll step it back and arms overhead, crescent lunge. Hands reach behind the back. Interlace the fingers or hold on to opposite wrists or forearms. Open the chest, lift the gaze. So we're in this lunge. Feel free to lower the back knee down. Everyone lift the heart, lift the gaze. Take an inhale. And exhale. One more inhale here. Reach those knuckles back if you have the fingers interlaced. Exhale. Go ahead and release. Take those arms overhead. Inhale there. Exhale. Hands forward. Step back into plank. We'll chaturanga or just meet us in down dog. So chaturanga to the belly or hover. Heart comes forward, lower down. Cobra or up dog as you inhale. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. And back to our down dog or child's pose, either or. Couple breaths. Next inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, walk, step, or jump the feet to meet the hands to the top of the mat. And then inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rise up to standing. We can roll up or that reverse swan dive, flat back, arms out and up. Hands release in front of the heart. Whew. All right, other side. Start to take that left knee into the chest. Find your balance. Turn and face you here. Find your balance. Hug that knee in. Circle the foot around. Getting into the ankle. Perfect. All right, maybe release the hands here. Hugging that knee in. Keeping the shoulders over the hips. Take some core. Feel that core engage as you hug the knee in. A little closer towards the chest. Inhale here. Beautiful. Exhale, stepping that foot back. Finding your lunge. Taking those arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace the fingers behind the back or reach opposite elbows or wrists. Open that chest. Lift the gaze. Couple breaths here. All right, release. Take those arms overhead. Once again, as you inhale and exhale, hands release forward, step back into our plank, chaturanga to the belly or hover, elbows in. Up dog or cobra, heart lifts. Down dog or child's pose, take some breaths. All right, gaze forward. Walk, step, or jump the feet to meet the hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise back up to standing. Roll up or flat back. Hands together in front of the heart. All right, we're going to flow with that. Let me see our time here. Yeah, we're going to flow with that. So same sequence, but with the breath as best we can. It's going to be a little flowy. So ground down into the left foot. We're going to take our right knee into the chest as you inhale. Hands free or hold on to that knee. Inhale here. Beautiful. Exhale. Right leg extends back. Step back into our lunge. And then as you inhale next, take those arms overhead. Exhale. Arms behind the back. Maybe interlace the fingers. Open the chest as you inhale. Exhale, hold here. Beautiful. Release those arms overhead and take the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands forward. Step back into our plank, chaturanga, or meet us in down dog. And we'll take a couple breaths there. This could always be just a cat-cow instead. If we're not wanting to be as much on the wrists and the shoulders, you could come to tabletop and just do cat and cow instead of that chaturanga up dog. All right, from our down dog, gaze forward. Walk, step, or jump the feet to meet the hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up to standing, inhale. Hands together in front of the heart, exhale. All right, just moving with the flow. Inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, step the leg back, find our lunge, take those arms overhead, inhale. Arms behind the back in some way, exhale. Open the chest, inhale. Hold here as we exhale. Beautiful, release those arms, inhale overhead. Exhale, hands release forward, step back. Chaturanga or down dog is where we'll meet. This is our power. We're coming into our peace very soon here. All right, from your down dog, come forward into plank, and we're going to take it into a side plank. So right hand to the center, toes, heels, ankles touch, left arm reaches. Now there's many ways to modify this. we could take our bottom knee down, or place one foot in front of the other, or we could lift this top leg from a modified position. Wherever you are, breathe. Maybe lift the gaze up with the top hand. Find your strength, especially in that bottom arm, bottom hand, bottom shoulder. One more breath here. You can take that top arm overhead, lengthen through the side body. Beautiful, and release. Come back to our full plank position. Other side, side plank, toes, heels, ankles touch, or you set up your version. Maybe that bottom knee down, top arm reaches. We can always lift that top leg for a little more. Breathe, couple breaths. We could also take this top arm over. Many ways to play with this one. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Find your plank. Take an inhale there. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Let's go ahead and lower to the knees and come into that tabletop position. And we're going to come right into thread the needle. So right hand to the center, left arm comes underneath, lower down. Here we go. We're transitioning into our piece right here, right now. Take that top hand forward, lengthen, and settle into the bottom arm. So we could relax this top arm a little more, maybe rest it on the floor. You could bring a pillow underneath your head if the neck feels like it's straining to reach. Let's settle in here. We'll take a little extra time. And we'll start to slow it down. So we did that strengthening, that little bit of fire. Not a whole lot of fire today because the time change, Halloween yesterday. There's just a lot of the full moon. I mean, there's a lot going on. So when there's a lot going on around us, it's better to take a slower practice. Take it slower, a little bit more grounding, and a little bit more mindful than that fiery strengthening. We're just slowing this little down today, if you haven't noticed, a little slower. As we transition with this time shift and everything else going on, give yourself permission to settle in and rest, be still. And we'll take a few more breaths on this side, softening the face, the jaw. All right, let's go ahead and start to walk that top hand in. And we'll press up, just come back to center, that tabletop position. And we'll take it over to the other side. Left hand to the center, right arm thread the needle. Take it over, lower down. Walk the top hand forward or just relax the arm on the floor. Set it up for your body. What you need right here, right now. And listen to what comes up as we bring our bodies into these positions. Notice what comes up and where. And then find that stillness if possible. for as long as possible. We'll take a few more breaths on this side. And then go ahead on your next inhale. We'll start to walk that top hand in. And then we'll press up to our tabletop. And then let's sit back onto our heels. Option to tuck the toes under. Get a little stretch for our feet as we sit back. And just take a couple breaths there. Check in with your breath, your body. You know, slowing it down. You might feel that a little bit in the body. Maybe not. And then we're going to come into one of my favorite stretches for the back. It's a variation of child's pose. So we're going to release down to the tops of the feet, and the thighs are together. So we come like into a child's pose, but our thighs are together. So we're resting our belly on top of the thighs, and then just letting the back round. The head comes to the floor. You can let the shoulder blades open, the arms relax forward, but they're on either side of the body there. And again, we could always wiggle the hips a little bit, give a little release there. And then settle in. We won't be here super long, but just enough to breathe and soften a little bit around that back, maybe mid back, lower back. And then on your next inhale, we'll start to roll up back to that seat on the heels. Let the head and neck come up last. And then let's swing the legs around. Another favorite for the lower back is this Janu Shirshasana. It's like a tree shape with the legs. So we take the right foot in to the inside of the left thigh and then sit up tall. You may even sit up on something. I always like to roll up my mat if I need a little extra cushion, or you could sit up on a blanket. And that really does help lifting the pelvis up and getting us into a better position in our pelvis and our hips for this stretch. So we turn over the extended leg and then fold over that extended leg. Maybe rounding, letting the head go forward. We're reaching. Another great way to support this is taking a block underneath that bent knee, and that will take it out of that hip a bit more. So we'll take about 5 breaths or so on this side, and then we'll take it to the other side. So in these 5 breaths, see if you can fold forward just a touch more. Maybe let go around the neck, the face, the jaw. Perfect. On your next inhale, we'll come out of that side and let's switch it up. Just switching out the legs. Right leg, what leg is this? Yeah, right leg extends, left foot in. Make sure I'm not telling you the wrong sides. Sit up tall and then rotate a bit. Support wherever you need. Maybe that block underneath the bent knee. And then we'll fold over the opposite or the extended leg. Maybe rounding, maybe reaching. Whatever feels best in the body here. We might not even come forward a whole lot. But maybe as the time goes on, we're able to sink into it a little further. Maybe relax a little bit more, stretch along that lower back. And let's breathe, make sure we're breathing. I was just looking at the time and Rochelle gave a little to our trainer group text. She says, daylight savings after Halloween is not going great here. A house full of screams, she says. Oh my goodness. Can sort of relate. I don't have as many kids as her, but we're definitely a little, got a sugar hangover over here in this house for sure. All right, couple more breaths on this side. And then let's go ahead and come on up and we'll release the legs and make our way onto our back. Hug the knees into the chest. And rock it out. I love this one for the lower back as well. You could take the knees a little wide. And just rock it out, just massaging around that lower back sacrum. And then our final stretch, just for a few breaths here, we'll come into a happy baby. So knees wide, soles of the feet reach up. You can grab behind the thighs, the calves, or the feet. And maybe rock a bit side to side once you found that position. And for Halloween, Sherry named this one Dead Bug, which is the original name that I was taught for this one, but it just never sounded right in yoga. It's like, okay, come to Dead Bug. I think Happy Baby is a more appropriate name, but Dead Bug's great for Halloween, right? Couple more breaths. And release. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, a squeeze. Forehead can come towards the knees. Inhale. And exhale. Extend out. Extend the legs. Extend the arms. Palms face up. Shavasana. Find a relaxation. Allowing some stillness in the body. Some relaxation here, whether it's a minute or 5 minutes or longer. Find this stillness right here, right now. This pose is beneficial because it brings us to a place where we can absorb all that we've put our body through in good ways over the last half hour or hour. And just letting that sink in, not only to the body, but the mind, that breath, that slowing down, that grounding will help our mind, our thoughts, whatever we have going on. So stay here, and I will log us off. Please stay here as long as you can. the light in me sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. I'll go ahead and log us off here. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Deeds.